You mean to tell me Love and Hip Hop, the show that gave us wig snatching, drink throwing, and enough drama to fuel 10 seasons of therapy, suddenly got shy? Oh no baby, something ain't adding up. Because while Mona Scott and VH1 were busy feeding us the same recycled feuds and fake friend betrayals, there was something real happening off cameras, something they allegedly did everything in their power to silence. And her name, Erica Mena. Now sit down, because what you're about to hear might just flip your reality TV world upside down. Allegations are exploding that Erica was pregnant during filming, and not only did the producers know, but they allegedly ordered the footage scrubbed like a scandalous ex from your IG feed. Yep, whole scenes, deleted, confessionals, vanished. And as for Erica, suddenly demoted from center stage to background noise, faster than you can say contractual. So now the question is, why? Why erase a storyline so raw, so emotional, so human? Was it too real for reality TV? Or was it simply inconvenient? Buckle up, because we're about to unpack the conspiracy Mona and VH1 allegedly didn't want any of us to see. This ain't just gossip, it's a cover-up. They say reality TV shows you everything. Every meltdown, every betrayal, every broken glass, and every broken heart. But what happens when the reality part of reality TV gets a little too real for the producers to handle? What happens when something so raw, so human, so unscripted threatens to break the carefully crafted chaos they've built? Well, according to growing whispers and fiery fan theories, Mona Scott and VH1 didn't just avoid showing a major life event. They allegedly went full cloak and dagger to wipe it off the map entirely. And the woman at the center of this erasure, none other than Erica Mena. Now let's get one thing straight. Erica is not exactly known for being quiet. She's been the storm, the scandal, the spark that lights the match in nearly every love and hip-hop season she's touched. We're talking iconic shade, legendary fights, and enough memes to last a lifetime. So when she suddenly faded into the background during a season packed with minor beefs and recycled love triangles, fans didn't just miss her, they knew something was off. At first, the excuses rolled in like cheap plot twists. Maybe it was editing. Maybe she was stepping back. Maybe she didn't want to be involved in the mess this time, but the silence kept getting louder. The camera barely lingered on her. Storylines skipped her. Scenes felt abruptly cut. And in the middle of all that, Erica was glowing. And not in the just got a facial kind of way. In the is she pregnant kind of way. That's when the internet did what it does best. It investigated. Fans started combing through old episodes, screen-grabbing blurry moments, analyzing body language like amateur FBI agents. And let me tell you, the receipts they found. Wild. In one scene, Erica conveniently places her purse in front of her stomach the entire time. In another, she wears a baggy hoodie during a dinner where everyone else is dressed to the nines. And let's not even talk about the sudden cuts whenever she begins to speak during confessionals. Coincidence? That's what VH1 probably hoped you'd believe. But the streets weren't buying it. Then came the so-called leak. A now-deleted blog post from someone claiming to be a former production assistant dropped a bombshell. Erica was pregnant during filming, and producers knew. According to this alleged insider, she had even filmed scenes talking about it, emotional scenes, raw scenes, but they were all yanked during post-production. Why? Because it didn't fit the storyline. Let that sink in. A real-life pregnancy. A woman going through a life-changing experience was deemed too distracting for a show that prides itself on being about real lives. Now, if this was a one-off rumor, sure, maybe we'd chalk it up to fan fiction. But no, dear viewer, this thing started snowballing. Fast. A fan account leaked what looked like behind-the-scenes footage of Erica stepping into a trailer. Belly barely hidden under an oversized flannel. Another anonymous comment on Reddit, supposedly from a cousin of a cast member, said Erica had broken down on set over being told her scenes were cut. And then came the deleted Instagram post. Erica had uploaded a serene photo of herself by a window, hand gently resting on her midsection, with a cryptic caption, "Growth looks different on everyone." It was up for less than 24 hours before disappearing without a trace. But this is the internet. People screenshotted it, reposted it, dissected it, frame by frame. And suddenly, the "maybe she's pregnant" whisper became a full-blown shout. Fans flooded her comments, demanding to know the truth. Was she silenced? Was Mona pulling strings again? The same Mona Scott who once proudly boasted about bringing realness to television. Because if this is what realness looks like, erasing a woman's truth because it didn't match the petty feud formula, Then the audience had every right to feel betrayed, and betrayed they did feel. Outrage started spilling across social media. Tweets like they used her when she was messy but tossed her when she was vulnerable racked up thousands of likes. YouTube channels made timeline breakdowns. Fan theories turned into digital exposes. People weren't just gossiping, they were demanding justice. And guess who wasn't saying a word? Erica. Now, that was the twist nobody saw coming. Erica Mena, queen of the clapback, suddenly quiet. No IG lives. No soap tweets. No interviews. Just silence. And if you've followed Erica for even 5 minutes, you know that silence speaks volumes. Because the Erica we know doesn't hold back. So her silence. That was louder than any reality TV confessional ever could be. Then came the so-called accidental leak that sent fans into full conspiracy mode. During an Instagram live with a friend, clearly unscripted and unfiltered, Erica's name came up. The friend paused, looked nervous, and muttered something about protecting your peace when you're expecting. Boom. The internet caught it. The live was ended seconds later. Too late. The clip had already gone viral, and that's when things really started to unravel. Fan pages began re-editing old scenes with eerie music and slow zooms, highlighting every time Erica looked uncomfortable, every glance cast her way, every jump cut that seemed suspicious. People even started matching the alleged timeline of her pregnancy with her sudden drop in screen time, her wardrobe changes, and her complete absence from key events. And when fans are pulling up timestamps like a cold case detective, you know the trust is broken. But what really iced the cake was what happened during a group trip episode, one of those big, dramatic, multiple location shoot episodes that usually get tons of airtime. Erica was supposed to be there. She was even tagged in pre-stories, but in the final cut, not even a whisper. No explanation, no mention. Just erased, like she never existed that week. At this point, fans were screaming for answers, and when Mena and VH1 continued to dodge, deflect, and delete questions from their comment sections, people started digging deeper. One bold commenter asked Mena directly, "Did you cut Erica's pregnancy storyline?" Not only did the question vanish within hours, but the user who posted it reported being blocked from the page. Really? That's your move, Mena? Silence. The fans like you allegedly silenced Erica. And as if on cue, something even more bizarre emerged. A pixelated clip, supposedly filmed from a production monitor during editing, surfaced on a shady gossip forum. It was shaky, no sound, but crystal clear in what it showed. Erica sitting alone on a soundstage, dabbing her eyes with a tissue. Her shoulders slump, her lips quiver. She's looking off camera, clearly in the middle of an emotional moment. Was it a confessional, a cutscene, a rehearsal? Doesn't matter, because what fans saw wasn't a performance, it was real. Too real, apparently, for VH1 to handle. And just like that, the narrative flipped. Erica wasn't the villain of the season. She was the one who got done dirty, the woman who, after giving years of chaos and content to a show that cashed in on her every breakdown, was allegedly tossed aside the moment her story required empathy instead of explosions. And the betrayal didn't stop at just cutting scenes. Oh no. According to multiple so-called insiders, Erica allegedly fought hard behind the scenes to have her truth acknowledged. Even just a moment of vulnerability on screen. But every attempt was shut down. One production leak claimed she requested to sit down for a one-on-one confessional to speak honestly about what she was going through. The response: it doesn't fit this season's tone. Imagine hearing that your real life, your pregnancy, your emotional breakdown, your literal transformation as a woman isn't on brand enough for a show about real people. The irony is almost laughable. And fans were not letting it go. Not this time, because here's the thing. Love and Hip Hop has never been shy about airing people's lowest moments. Divorce, air it. Cheating scandals, milk it for 3 episodes. Custody, battles, front and center. But suddenly a woman's pregnancy, a moment of actual growth and pain and humanity, was too much. It didn't add up. And when things stop adding up, the audience starts doing the math on their own. Fan threads lit up overnight. Timeline breakdowns, wardrobe analysis, insider tea. The whole internet became obsessed with what VH1 allegedly tried to hide. One fan even created a side-by-side comparison of Erica's typical look versus her alleged pregnancy-era appearance. Her once bold fashion choices turned into oversized coats. Her hair was styled looser, her body language more reserved. In the comments, fans wrote things like, "This ain't editing. This is erasing." Then came the podcast slip-up that added gasoline to the fire. A former cast member appeared on a messy YouTube talk show, you know the type, messy lighting. 2 mics and a couch from Craigslist, but what she said had the entire fanbase's ears ringing. When asked about Erica's storyline, she smiled, nervously and said, "I don't want to lose my contract, but let's just say, some things were left on the cutting room floor on purpose." The host leaned in. Like a pregnancy, she just laughed and said, "Y'all smart." That one clip went viral in minutes. By now, the audience was fully convinced this wasn't just accidental editing. This was a coordinated cover-up, and the timing, impeccably suspicious. Right around the time Erica would have been in her second trimester, the time when most women start to show, when emotions start to surge, and when support matters most, that's exactly when she started to disappear. Her voice vanished from the show. Her presence dimmed. Her image faded from promotional material. Even the reunion special teaser. Not a single frame of her, and if you thought the reunion was going to answer anything, think again. When it finally aired, Erica's absence wasn't explained, mentioned, or even acknowledged. No montage. No message. No, Erica couldn't be with us tonight. Just nothing. As if she had never existed that season. Fans were fuming. They took to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, dragging Mena, dragging the network, demanding answers. And what did Mena do? She pulled her usual vanishing act. Not a single comment. Not a single address. For someone who built a billion-dollar brand off drama, her silence was louder than any clapback she's ever posted. But the fans, they kept digging. One anonymous fan page claimed to have gotten their hands on a leaked internal memo from production that listed content to avoid referencing in promotional footage. Guess what name showed up under the avoid if possible column? Erica Mena. The reason listed, non-consensual storyline shift, whatever that means. Fans immediately took it to mean that she didn't agree to being edited out, but was edited anyway, and that might explain her eerie silence. Another fanlid theory suggested that Erica had been given a choice: stay quiet and keep your contract, or go public and get blackballed. And if that sounds dramatic, just look at how many former Love and Hip Hop cast members have mysteriously vanished after calling out production. It's not paranoia if it keeps happening. And then came the final straw. A grainy, clearly bootleg, clip leaked on a gossip forum again, allegedly shot during a private screening session for editors. In the clip, Erica is shown sitting on a confessional couch, clearly emotional. She takes a long pause, says "I didn't expect to feel this lost," and wipes away tears. The screen goes black. End of clip. It was only 14 seconds long. But that was enough. It confirmed what fans had been saying all along. The footage existed, it was filmed, and someone, somewhere, made the decision not to air it. Almost immediately, the internet broke. Twitter threads hit hundreds of thousands of retweets. Fan pages plastered the clip with captions like "This is what they didn't want us to see." YouTube reaction channels began dropping hour-long breakdowns. Even gossip bloggers who had once trashed Erica turned into her biggest defenders overnight. The clip was raw, intimate, and deeply human. It showed a side of Erica most viewers had never seen. Not the fire-breathing diva, not the villainous ex, but a woman grappling with something so real it cracked through her armor. And that's when fans started asking a new question. Why was this side of her hidden? Why was the one storyline that could have actually shown growth, vulnerability, depth, all the things they claimed to want from their stars, the one thing they chose to bury? And the answers still not coming. VH1 stayed quiet. Mena stayed quiet. Even Erica, despite the rising support, kept to herself. She posted nothing related to the scandal. No interviews, no live streams, no cryptic comments. Just beauty promos, motherhood shots, and positive quotes. But her silence only made fans louder. They began tagging her in posts, begging her to speak her truth. Some even launched petitions demanding VH1 release the lost episodes. And within days, one petition passed 25,000 signatures. Then, in the dead of night, with zero warning, Erica posted a story on Instagram. Black background, white text, one line: "You can't erase what actually happened." That's it. No name, no explanation. Just one haunting sentence. The post was gone in under 10 minutes. But by the time it disappeared, the screenshots had already gone viral. Thousands shared it. Fan pages turned it into wallpapers. One gossip blog even printed it on Merc. Because that wasn't just a post, that was confirmation. Not legal, not official, but emotional. spiritual, real. It was the mic drop heard around the love and hip-hop universe. Fans lost it. This is her truth. One person tweeted, "She just confirmed it without confirming it." And from that moment on, the scandal wasn't just about if Erica was pregnant during filming. It was about why they allegedly worked so hard to bury it. From that single sentence, a whole new wave of outrage erupted. People started deep diving into show contracts. Some so-called insiders claimed that VH1 has clauses that allow them to completely reshape a cast member's storyline, not just by cutting scenes, but by literally scripting over reality if it benefits the production. If that's true, then Erica's experience wasn't just edited, it was rewritten. And fans were not having it. Mena, who once took pride in being the queen of reality, suddenly looked like the villain of her own empire. The same woman who gave Erica years of screen time was now being accused of silencing her when it mattered most. The audience felt manipulated, betrayed, lied to, because this wasn't a side plot. This was a woman's life. Her body, her voice, and it had allegedly been scrubbed clean from the record like an inconvenient typo. And just when fans thought they had seen the full extent of the scandal, just when the outrage was bubbling over into full-on protest mode, the silence broke. Again, this time, not with a quote, not with a blurry clip, but with a face. An unearthed piece of footage, allegedly from an unaired season reunion B-roll, suddenly leaked from an anonymous account. It showed Erica, back to camera, standing behind the stage curtain, visibly tense. A producer off-camera is heard whispering, "They cut your whole segment, just breathe." And the way her body stiffens. That clip said more than any reunion montage ever could. It was chilling, it was damning, and it spread like wildfire. At this point, the story was no longer confined to love and hip-hop fans. Bigger entertainment platforms started picking it up. Gossip sites, mainstream blogs, even podcast hosts who never talked about the show were now diving deep into what they were calling the biggest reality TV cover-up of the decade. Think about that. Not a cheating scandal. Not a secret hookup, but a hidden pregnancy. And a woman's silence allegedly orchestrated by an entire production team. And if the goal had been to erase her, well, it backfired spectacularly. Because suddenly, Erica Mena became more than a love and hip-hop cast member. She became a symbol. A cautionary tale of what happens when the wrong people are handed the power to edit your life. Fans began treating her like a silenced whistleblower. Comments turned into movements. Threads became investigative timelines, and "you can't erase what actually happened" became a slogan. Plastered across social media, t-shirts, wallpapers, everywhere. Meanwhile, VH1 pretended not to notice. No press release. No comment. Not even a vague "we support all our talent" statement. Just more promotional posts about side feuds and fake relationship drama. But the fans, they weren't fooled. Not anymore. One viral comment put it perfectly. They'll air a grown man throwing a drink at a baby shower, but a woman talking about her real-life pregnancy. That's where they draw the line. And the fallout didn't stop at VH1. Mona Scott herself became a lightning rod, once celebrated as the genius behind the franchise. Now being accused of creating a machine that used women's trauma for entertainment and discarded them when the trauma became too human. She stayed silent for weeks. Then, one day, she posted a beach photo with the caption, "Sometimes peace is better than proving your point." That was it. No context. But you already know how the internet works. Within minutes, fans were in her comments demanding to know if that was her response to the Erica scandal. And let's just say, the reaction wasn't peaceful. But the biggest bombshell came when a mid-level reunion producer someone most viewers wouldn't even recognize held a casual Q&A on their personal Instagram. And in what seemed like a throwaway answer, they dropped the sentence that cracked the whole thing wide open. "Some stories are bigger than the show." Just 7 words. That's all it took. The comments exploded. What stories? Whose story? Why didn't we see it? That one line confirmed everything fans had suspected all along, that something bigger, something real, had happened behind the scenes. And instead of embracing it, they buried it. Clean, quiet, surgical. Or so they thought. Because by now, it didn't matter if VH1 issued a statement. It didn't matter if Mona finally addressed the rumors. The audience had already decided. The truth was real, the cover-up was intentional, and Erica had been done dirty. And as the internet dragged the network through the mud, Erica herself seemed to be slowly reclaiming her voice, but on her own terms. She didn't rant. She didn't spill, she didn't even confirm. She just kept posting subtle, graceful messages. A selfie captioned, "Reclaiming peace." A photo of her child with the words, "Everything I ever needed." Another quote post, "When they try to write you out, write yourself in louder." Fans ate it up. They began reposting her images like they were gospel. Every emoji analyzed, every word decoded. Was she hinting at a future tell-all? A documentary? A bombshell interview? Nobody knew. But they were ready. Erica, without saying a word, had the entire audience leaning in, waiting, listening. And in that silence, the show was crumbling. Ratings started slipping. Hashtags like "Justice for Erica" and "Release Thick" cutscenes trended weekly. Even former castmates, who once beefed with her, started dropping cryptic support. One tweeted, "You can't build an empire off our pain and think it won't collapse." Another wrote, "We filmed scenes. You saw edits." That one went crazy viral. It became clear that this wasn't just Erica's story, it was a systemic issue. Other cast members began hinting at moments that were silenced, reshaped, or buried. Suddenly, the audience began to question everything they'd ever seen on Love and Hip Hop. How much was real? How much had been sacrificed for a cleaner storyline, and how many other truths had been left on the cutting room floor? The final blow came when a never-before-seen audition tape from years ago resurfaced. Erica, fresh-faced, talking about wanting to be on the show to show women you can be strong and soft. That clip, it hit differently now. Because after everything she went through, the soft parts were the ones they allegedly refused to show. They wanted her to be messy, explosive, the villain, but when she became vulnerable, when her life got too real, that's when they hit the delete button.